Good evening, everyone. It is February 16th, 2023. Let's just get into a couple bigger term charts. Um, Now, last night, what I had said was that I was still looking at us being in a distributive phase, even with that move up higher. I'd said that overall, this still looked like distribution to me, and it looks like I was right. We're now finally trading below that 40.98. We're getting into that 40.75 area, and if we do flush that 40.75, we should be able to get a nice move lower. So let's go into what that looks on the weekly outlook chart. Again, we failed that 40.65 to 70 area where I was saying that was the key to unlocking a breakout. We failed it once during Tuesday on the RTH and then again during these external trading hours last night. And instead, we had that liquidation into the open, that gap down into the open where we had the short covering, move back up towards 45 and distribute, and then that crap out into the close, now getting into the 70s where we may be able to get a breakout going to the downside. So that is how I was generally looking at it. More specifically, yeah, I was looking for us to get some sort of cover into 25, sell off a little bit, get into the 44s, sell off a bit again, and then get into the 55s and then get our crap out. We didn't end up trading those 55s. Instead, we did just end up holding that 45 area, maybe easier to see here, end up holding this 44, 45 area and then getting our crap out into the close. I managed to get a couple trades on and then one paper guy up there, but we are getting that move that I was looking for, that move into 76-ish. That does look like it's happening now during these external trading hours. The overnight low coming in at 81 right now, and looks like we're still creeping our way downwards. So how am I looking to actually trade this for tomorrow? Well, here's the thing. We're trading far outside where 95% of the volume has occurred on the week thus far. That would be sitting at, let me just pull this up on a separate screen. That'd be sitting at 40.97.5 using the full external trading hours. If you want to go to where 87%, so standard deviation 1.5 of the value area of the volume profile of the trading range on the week, that is sitting at 0.4 half. So in general, while we trade below these 0.4 areas, it's going to be difficult for longs to make much headway. So that's kind of the greater context of where we're trading relative to the week, relative to the prior week. Let me just pull this up. 40, 75, and 76. I want to just quickly mention these numbers for a second. 4076 is a sessional 95% value area low. It's January's value area high at 76.5. The weekly prior week's value area low, that 95% value area low is sitting at 77.25. You have the February open at 77.75. You have all these sort of numbers around those mid 70s, and perhaps you could argue that's why it was such a messy area on that Friday session, and perhaps why we caught a bid in that mess was because of those things. That's just my opinion. So, but the thought is that if we get below where the majority of the volume has taken place, you would be in a more sort of price discovery mode. It's an area where we're no longer trading in a nice rotational balance like we have the past several days. Instead, you're getting into more price discovery, and it would be a little bit more difficult to look for mean reversion. So, in order to combat that, what are we going to do? Before getting long at 78s, which was a fantastic level on that Friday, as well as that Thursday heading into the close, before we get long at 78.25, I want to see a run of last week's low, the RTH low sitting at 69.75, this 10 a.m. bar. I want to see a run of that. Before getting long at 55s, I want to see a run of this FOMC low at 48.5. Let it come back towards 60 and then bidding 55 for a move back up. 40.30.75. This has been that you got a daily close there. You've got a 95% weekly value area low there at 29.5. You have a weekly low at 29 something. You have a daily low at 27.25. You have the January point of control at 40.30.75. So you have all this crap kind of in a 3-4 point range around 30s. So I do want to be long there. Below there, I think you start getting into a major liquidation, and I just simply do not want to be involved with that. So that's how I'm going to be looking to trade this, and that's why I'll be looking to trade it like I am. To the upside, 98 quarter, just that key resistance from Friday. It was also that JPOW news low from the Tuesday session, and it's clearly been an important spot. I want to be short those 98s. That's also being short at where the majority of the volume had occurred during today's RTH session. That's where you have every single value area low, standard deviation 1, 1.5, 2, and sorry, 1, 1.5, 1 3/4, and 2 are all sitting there. So as long as you're below there, it's it's probably a decent short. That's also nearby where the daily close is, as well as the weekly close from last week. I want to be short at oh 09 quarter, oh 09 half, just because that is where today's point of control was. I think it's also just a nice level in general. I think we've trapped enough buyers around there. And I do want to be short at 29th as well. That's where we had a developing POC that's near value area high on the day. And I want to be short at 40s where we had sort of this key distribution. Similar to the idea of being short around 88 from there. That being our key distribution from this week, being short at 88. Similarly, I would want to be short at 40. It's sort of a micro version of that, where we have a key distribution, and the auction of that is at 40 quarter. The point of control of that distributive auction is sitting at 40 quarter. So that's how I'm looking to play this: short 40 quarter, short 29.75, short 09 half, short 98s, and then carefully long, looking for a look below, tagging some sort of extreme, regaining that area, and then getting long 78s, 55s, 30s. I don't want to play outside of that range. I think if you start playing below 30, you're in a liquidation scenario. I think if you're playing above 40, you're in a trend up scenario. So that's how I'll be looking to trade this. There will probably, given that we're gapping down currently, and I'm not too sure where we may or may not find the bid overnight, there will probably be a change to this sometime in the morning, and that will be posted pre-market to Twitter per usual. So have a safe Globex, and great night. See you guys later.